All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Manoj and with me is Sarabjit Kaur. The headlines. Monsoon session of Parliament begins today. Polling to elect the President of India to also take place today. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankad to file his nomination today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavalamban in New Delhi this evening. Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting with all Chief Ministers, Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories on Har Ghar Tiranga program. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia holds high-level meeting on airline safety amid series of technical snacks. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey arrives in Dhaka on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. Exports of agricultural and processed food products rise by 14% in first 3 months of current fiscal. And in cricket, India beat England by 5 wickets in third and final ODI in Manchester to clinch the series 2-1. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. Coming to our 97th question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz in English, who is the author of the book How India Wrought for Freedom? I repeat, who is the author of the book How India Wrought for Freedom? Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 882-654-6262. I repeat, 882-654-6262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. And now the news in detail. The monsoon session of Parliament will begin today. It will continue till the 12th of August. There will be 18 sittings during the session spread over a period of 26 days. Our correspondent reports that various bills, including Family Courts Amendment Bill, Forest Conservation Amendment Bill, Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill, are likely to be taken up in the session. Briefing reporters in New Delhi yesterday after the all-party meeting, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said that the government is ready to discuss any issue on the floor of the House as permitted under rules of procedure by the presiding officers.
36 parties attended and almost 36 leaders, they put forth their views, and I am thankful to them for having accepted our invitation and participated, and they have given their suggestions also, and they have demanded for some of the issues to be discussed. The government, under the leadership of the entire meeting, went on in the leadership of Shri Rajnath Singh Ji. Rajnath Singh Ji and myself, we have amply clarified that under the rules and the procedure for whichever the Speaker and Chairman gives the permission, government is ready to discuss any issue.
Addressing the meeting, Rajnath Singh said that necessary efforts will be made by the government to discuss the matters of urgent public importance besides the usual legislative business in Parliament. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu also chaired a meeting of floor leaders of different parties in the upper house yesterday evening. On Saturday, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla chaired an all-party meeting with the floor leaders of the various parties in the lower house. The leaders of the political parties assured the Speaker of their full cooperation to ensure smooth conduct of the House during the session. Talking to media after the meeting, Mr. Birla said that he has appealed to the members to take part in a healthy discussion on the issues concerning national and public interest.
मैंने सभी दलों के नेताओं से आग्रह किया है, देश के हित में, देश की जनता के हित में हम देश के महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दों पर चर्चा करें, संवाद करें, लेकिन सदन बिना व्यवधान के मर्यादा से चले, सभी दलों के नेताओं का सहयोग रहे ताकि देश की जनता की आकांक्षा, अपेक्षाएं इन सदन के माध्यम से हम पूरी कर सकें.
The polling to elect the President of India will be held today. Voting will take place in the Parliament House and the premises of the state legislative assemblies between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Draupadi Murmu is the NDA candidate, while Yashwant Sinha is the opposition candidate for the presidential election. Besides NDA partners, YSR Congress, Shiv Sena, Shiromani Akali Dal, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and Biju Janata Dal have also announced support for Ms. Murmu. The total number of electors will be 4,809, including 776 members of parliament and 4,033 members of legislative assemblies. The counting will take place on the 21st of July. The Election Commission has appointed 37 observers for overseeing the arrangements of polling and counting during elections. The Commission has deployed one observer for overseeing polling at each of the 30 places of poll in the state and UT legislative assemblies and two observers for the Parliament House. The designated observers will take stock of arrangements made for security and transportation of ballot boxes and election material by the returning officers and assistant returning officers and ensure free and fair elections. The observers deputed at Parliament House will also oversee the counting process of votes on 21st of this month.
National Democratic Alliance NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar will file his nomination today. The last date for filing the nominations is tomorrow and the election will be held on 6th of August. Margaret Alva is the opposition's candidate for Vice Presidential election. She will file her nomination tomorrow. The Vice President is elected by the members of the Electoral College consisting of the members of both Houses of Parliament. For 16th Vice Presidential election, the Electoral College consists of 233 elected members and 12 nominated members of Rajya Sabha and 543 elected members of Lok Sabha. The term of Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu is ending on 10th of next month. Home Minister Amit Shah held a meeting yesterday with all the Chief Ministers, Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories on the Har Ghar Tiranga program. Mr. Shah said in this campaign more than 100 crore people across the country will unfurl the tricolour at their homes from 13th to 15th August. The Home Minister said it will connect the young generation with the development and security of the country for many years to come. He urged everyone to participate in this campaign. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced this unique Har Ghar Tiranga campaign to further strengthen the feeling of patriotism among the countrymen.
अब हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization NIIO seminar Swavalamban in New Delhi today. The Prime Minister will unveil sprint challenges aimed at giving a boost to usage of indigenous technology in the Indian Navy. This is part of the efforts to attain self-reliance in the defense sector. We have more from our correspondent.
The two-day seminar aims to engage Indian industry and academia towards achieving self-reliance in the defense sector. It will provide a platform for leaders from industry, academia, services and government to come together on a common platform to ideate and come up with recommendations for the defense sector. The sessions dedicated to innovation, indigenization, armament and aviation will be held. The second day of the seminar will witness outreach to the Indian Ocean region in line with the government's vision of Sagar, security and growth for all in the region. As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, NIIO, in conjunction with the Defence Innovation Organization, aims at inducting at least 75 new indigenous technologies and products in the Indian Navy. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
The exports of agricultural and processed food products rose by 14% in the first 3 months of the current financial year compared to the corresponding period of 2021-22. Commerce and Industry Ministry said the overall export has increased to $5,987 million in April to June this year from $5,256 million over the same period in the last fiscal. The exports of fresh fruits and vegetables has registered 8.6% growth, while processed food products like cereals and miscellaneous processed items reported an impressive growth of 36.4%. The ministry said rice exports has witnessed a growth of 13%, while the export of meat, dairy and poultry products increased by 9.5%.
The new goods and services tax GST rates on a number of items will come into effect from today. The exemption from GST on a number of items have been withdrawn. Hotel accommodation priced up to 1,000 rupees per day will be now taxed at 12%. Solar water heater will now attract 12% GST as compared to 5% earlier. The tax will be cut on transport of goods and passengers by ropeways to 5% from the existing 12%. The electric vehicles would now be eligible for the concessional GST rate of 5%. GST exemption on the transport of passengers by air to and from northeastern states and Bagh Dogra will be restricted to economy class only. The decision to changes in the GST rates was taken during the 47th GST Council meeting held in Chandigarh last month.
India has crossed the milestone of administering 200 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccine. This milestone has been achieved within 18 months of launching the vaccination drive in January last year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also congratulated the countrymen on crossing the special figure of 200 crore COVID vaccine doses. He said he is proud of those who contributed to make India's vaccination drive unparalleled in scale and speed.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Monsoon session of Parliament begins today. Polling to elect President of India to also take place today. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar to file his nomination today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavlamban in New Delhi this evening. Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting with all Chief Ministers, Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories on Har Ghar Tiranga program. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia holds high-level meeting on airline safety amid series of technical snags. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey arrives in Dhaka on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. Exports of agricultural and processed food products rise by 14% in first 3 months of the current fiscal. And in cricket, India beat England by 5 wickets in third and final ODI in Manchester to clinch the series 2-1. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कॉम्पिटिशन्स की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो आकाशवाणी लाया है एक इंटरैक्टिव प्रोग्राम अभ्यास। एक ऐसा प्रोग्राम जहां आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289909444 पर या आप ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं अपने सवाल abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर। हमारे स्टूडियो में एक्सपर्ट आपके भेजे सवालों का देंगे जवाब शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे। इस बार का विषय है पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। आपके सवालों का हम करेंगे इंतजार 20 जुलाई तक। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
Welcome back to the morning news on All India Radio. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia chaired a high-level meeting yesterday in light of a string of incidents of safety issues involving Indian carriers. Mr. Scindia directed the officials to strictly adhere to the prescribed safety norms and avoid any kind of laxity towards passenger safety. Senior officials of Ministry of Civil Aviation and Directorate General of Civil Aviation were present during the meeting. The Centre has called an all-party meeting tomorrow to discuss the Sri Lankan crisis. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said that the meeting will be chaired by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. During an all-party meeting convened by the government yesterday, DMK and AIADMK had demanded that India should intervene in the crisis surrounding the island nation. External Affairs Ministry has earlier said that India will continue to stand with the people of Sri Lanka as they seek to realize their aspirations for prosperity and progress through democratic means and values as well as established institutions and a constitutional framework. MEA spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said that this year itself, India has expeditiously finalized and delivered assistance as well as support worth about $3.8 billion to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka will go to polls to elect a new president on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the last day to file the nominations. Sri Lanka's acting president Ranil Wickremesinghe and main opposition leader Sajith Premadasa are among the 4 candidates who have joined the race to become the country's next president.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember social reformer Tukaram Bhaurao Sathe, who died on the 18th of July 1969. Popularly known as Anna Bhau, Sathe worked for the upliftment of depressed classes and played a vital role in Sanyukt Maharashtra Chalbal.
Anna Bhau Sathe was born on the 1st of August 1920 in Vategaon village, part of present-day Maharashtra's Sangli district, in a so-called lower caste family. He migrated from Satara to Mumbai in 1931 on foot over a period of 6 months following a drought in the countryside. In Bombay, Sathe undertook a range of odd jobs. The urban environment of Bombay significantly influenced his writings, which depict it as a dystopian milieu. Though he did not study beyond class 4, Sathe wrote 35 novels in Marathi.
Sathe's use of folkloric narrative styles like Povada and Lavani helped popularize and make his work accessible to many communities. In his novel Fakira, Sathe portrays Fakira, the protagonist, revolting against the rural orthodox system and British Raj to save his community from utter starvation. There are 15 collections of Sathe's short stories, of which a large number has been translated into many Indian and as many as 27 non-Indian languages. Besides novels and short stories, Sathe wrote a play, a travelogue on Russia, 12 screenplays and 10 ballads in the Marathi Povada style.
Anna Bhau was a significant figure in the Indian People's Theatre Association and in the Samyukta Maharashtra movement, which sought the creation of a separate Marathi-speaking state through a linguistic division of the extant Bombay state. He was influenced by the teachings of Baba Saheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar and used his stories to amplify the life experiences of depressed classes and workers.
Anna Bhau continued to work for the betterment of the society till his death. All India Radio salutes the great social reformer.
We also remember Mata Rohini Barua, who was sentenced to death on the 18th of July 1935. Born in 1915, Barua was an active member of the Jugantar Party and had participated in the Chittagong Armory raid. Barua assassinated Sub-Inspector Sayyid Irshad Ali, the tyrant officer in charge of the Gwalundu Ghat police station. Baru
In November 1943, AIR News salutes the great freedom fighter.
We also remember independence activist Ishwar Singh, who took part in the First War of Independence in 1857. He was finally captured and tried for desertion and mutiny against the British authorities. Ishwar Singh was sentenced to 14 years imprisonment with hard labour and irons in November 1858. He died during imprisonment on the 18th of July 1859 in the Andaman Islands. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey arrived in Dhaka last evening on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. More details from our Dhaka correspondent.
Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey will start his 3-day-long official visit today by laying a wreath at the Shikha Anirban today in Dhaka. During the day, the Army Chief will hold meeting with senior officials of the security establishment and exchange views on various defense-related issues. He will also pay tribute to Bangladesh's father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, at his memorial in Dhanmondi area in Dhaka. On the second day, Chief of Army Staff will address the students and faculty of Defence Services Command and Staff College, Mirpur. He will thereafter visit and interact with the members of Bangladesh Institute of Peace Support and Operations Training, which is a premier institute of Bangladesh which trains peacekeepers for employment in various UN peace operations. This will be followed by a visit to the Bangabandhu Military Museum at Mirpur. This is the first foreign visit of General Manoj Pandey after taking over as the Army Chief. Rajesh Jha for AIR News, Dhaka.
In Madhya Pradesh, BJP candidates have won 7 out of 11 municipal corporations in the first phase of elections for the post of mayor. On the other hand, Congress candidate has won in 3 and Aam Aadmi Party candidate has won 1 municipal corporation. The counting of votes for the remaining 5 cities will be held on July 20th in the second phase. More details from our correspondent.
In Indore municipal corporations, BJP's mayor candidate Pushyamitra Bhargav got the biggest victory by more than 1,33,000 votes. Malti Raya BJP has won in Bhopal by more than 98,000 votes. BJP has also won in Khandwa, Satna, Sagar, Ujjain and Burhanpur seat, while Congress has got Jabalpur, Gwalior and Chhindwara, and Aam Aadmi Party has won in Singrauli. BJP has got a clear majority in 27 out of 36 municipalities in the state. The Congress got a majority in just 4. Describing this as a historic success of BJP, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan thanked the people. He said that usually there was a level playing field in the local elections, but this time 80% seats have been won by BJP. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
On to sports. In cricket, a blistering century by Rishabh Pant with Hardik Pandya's 50 guided Team India to a 5-wicket victory over England in the third ODI of the 3-match series at Old Trafford in Manchester last night. With this win, India clinched the ODI series 2-1 against England. Rishabh Pant was declared player of the match for his fantastic 100 and Hardik Pandya was declared player of the series. In badminton, ace Indian shuttler PV Sindhu has clinched women's single title of Singapore Open. The 2-time Olympic medalist defeated Wang Jie of China to claim her maiden title in Singapore Open and third title this year after registering wins in Korea Open and Swiss Open. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated the ace shuttler on her title win. The President and the Vice President also congratulated the ace shuttler on her achievement. Now let us have a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital Delhi will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle at one or two places. The minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius and maximum will be 36 degrees. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius and maximum will be 30 degrees. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. Minimum temperature was 28 degrees Celsius and maximum will be 34 degrees. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 27 degrees Celsius and maximum will be 34 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Leh and Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. Visakhapatnam will have generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Bengaluru will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Hyderabad will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Imphal will have generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Gangtok, Kohima, Aizawl, Itanagar and Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. And Shillong will have partly generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Milestone in India's vaccination drive is the front page headline in all the dailies today. India hits 2 billion shots in COVID battle, writes Hindustan Times. The Indian Express adds, PM flags people's faith in science, hails doctors, nurses and scientists. A Business Standard headline cites government draws up plan to make PSU bank boards stronger. The Pioneer says, it's Kisan Putra versus woman power in VP poll contest. The Hindu reports Navy decommissions Sindhu Dwaj, the kilo-class submarine acquired from Russia, which had been in service for 35 years. The Economic Times scribbles BSC CEO Ashish Chauhan to head NSE. Packed paneer curd to cost more from today with the GST Council's decision coming into force, notes the Tribune. And finally, the Times of India reports IIM Raipur creates history, admits more girls than boys.
And before we end the bulletin, a reminder of today's question of the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Who is the author of the book How India Wrought for Freedom? I repeat, who is the author of the book How India Wrought for Freedom? WhatsApp your response on 882-654-6262. Celebrate 75 years of India's independence by participating in Amrit Mahotsav quiz with AIR News. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Monsoon session of Parliament begins today. Polling to elect President of India to also take place today. NDA Vice Presidential candidate Jagdeep Dhankar to file his nomination today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization Seminar Swavalamban in New Delhi this evening. Home Minister Amit Shah holds meeting with all Chief Ministers, Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories on Har Ghar Tiranga program. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia holds high-level meeting on airlines safety amid series of technical snacks. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Pandey arrives in Dhaka on a 3-day visit to Bangladesh. Exports of agricultural and processed food products rise by 14% in first 3 months of current fiscal. And in cricket, India beat England by 5 wickets in third and final ODI in Manchester to clinch the series 2-1. And with that, we end the morning news.
Agnipath scheme that gives a new identity to your ability. Become an Agniveer for Indian Navy.
Hi, this is Pooja. Indian Navy has brought a golden opportunity for the daughters of the country. We have the opportunity to serve the Navy by becoming Agniveer. We can protect the country's maritime borders by being deployed on modern warships. We will have a chance to prove our ability to make a new identity in the society. I have decided that after 4 years, I will opt to continue in the regular cadre of Navy. I will become an Agniveer of Indian Navy. Young, dynamic, motivated, fit and skilled.
Indian Navy, an ocean of opportunities. For details, visit joinindiannavy.gov.in.